Gentlemen, welcome to a bit of an intermediary game. Game number 3 between Team Spirit and Gambit Esports. It was our second quarterfinal that was starting at the same time as the other one that we just saw, Empire versus Spartak. So that means the scoreline here is 1-1. The winner of this game will face up against Empire. The loser is out. The count. My name is Dragonjob. I'm joined by Mr. V, purveyor of the best dad jokes since 2016. How are you doing?
I am very thankful for my acclamation into the dad jokes role. I am very thankful and very honored by your acknowledgement of my dad joke quality. Thank you very much.
Well, gotta honor if it's true, right?
Yeah, very true. I can't believe Gambit turned that one around, but then again, you know, sniper high ground. How do you push it into that? And like the Wukong commands, I had to open up the demo hero mode just to like test that. You can either get 100 armor or opt to go for the one additional roll, and the one additional row of the Wukong's command makes its AoE so much bigger. Like you'd have to do some like, I don't know, calculus to determine it, or actually it wouldn't even be calculus, it would just be algebra, whatever the radius is minus the times pi r squared. But it's so much bigger, and it just like takes over the team fight. No, it's like a big deal. It's like the Void Chronosphere. Like it can be impeding, but for Wukong's command, it just gives you more area to work with as the Monkey King, and just kind of really disrupts the fight.
Alright, this is one guy in chat who does not believe that this is game 3. I'm just so confused by that. Like, you'd figure that we'd know better than everyone else, but hey. Back to this guy.
I believe the coin flip occurs in game 1. And then in game 2, it's just the opposite. So
priorities changed in game 2.
Yeah,
the way it normally works, so the other team gets to decide, and then game 3, if it gets to game 3, it's a coin flip again.
So the only way that it's not game 3 is that we hallucinated the last 20 minutes of watching them play versus each other.
2, yeah.
And it's actually game 1. All right, Team Spirit. They got the Chen. Looking to be a little bit more aggressive. I think I wrote it down. So Gambit lose, coin flip, Spirit choose first pick. So they first pick the Chen then. So maybe a little bit of a pocket strat coming out here, but they're not showing a whole lot, Team Spirit. They got the Chen to roam, they got the Disruptor to kind of control and maybe help in the lane, but I don't know. When you choose first pick, I think you something that you're committed to and that you're being sneaky about.
You're all that sneaky, right? You first pick Chen, everyone kind of knows what he's doing. The question is, can he respond to it? It's been a while since we've seen that hero really be popular in for any sort of team, really. So it's surprising to see that come out. At the same time, it's a hero that you that's the question, right? How does it fit into the meta these days? Because jungle has kind of been nerfed over the last couple of patches, so you cannot really get too much out of just sitting there in the jungle and farming up creep camps. So basically you have to pick up one creep and play like an enchantress almost. Start roaming around, creating pressure almost immediately.
What? Why did Team Spirit just ban the enchantress though? Do they think it's Wyvern offlane?
No, so you don't have the Chen enchantress creep wars. Super annoying.
But they already have Earth Spirit Wyvern from the side of Gambit. Like they would have to run Wyvern Core if they were to pick up an additional enchantress, right? I guess they could run it offlane,
enchantress
right?
Is a thing. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it is a thing.
It is a thing. Interesting.
Then again, those offlane enchantresses would often skip enchant completely, but probably not in this game against a Chen. But yeah, just in favor of the heal as well. See extra levels of untouchable, but Team Spirit just don't want to take the chance. It can get very ridiculous.
Yeah. I could imagine that my creep. I guess the person starting with the creep, if they have their conversion spell up, wins. but they only win for the duration of the Enchantress cooldown, which is a lot less than Holy Persuasion. In either case, Gambit goes for the Quap. An interesting pick versus the Disruptor. I play a lot of Quap because it's like the only mid hero I feel super comfortable on. Besides Lena, of course, and I really don't like Quap versus Disruptor. It's nice having the level 25 talent of the free spell block, but usually you build Lincolns and then just go for the Scream Fear to have the ability to kind of go in versus course, right? So,
of Pain. Like the thing is, you don't pick a hero for the level 25 talent.
No,
this is not the way to draft. Even I'm fairly convinced of that. So, it's just a matter of comfort, I guess. The facing up against Disruptor, you have to try and play around it, but it's super hard. As soon as you get hit by the Thunderstrike, essentially, and Disruptor's high enough level that you get that extra range from the glimpse, you can basically just wait out these couple of seconds where the Thunderstrike is on top, giving you vision, where you can't blink. So either you blink out, get glimpsed right back, or you just tank a Static Storm to the face regardless. So it's like almost impossible to get away as the Queen of Pain in this kind of situation.
Yeah, I think it's just like, as you said, a comfort pick. I'm just thinking the last game kind of went a bit longer, so maybe these teams are not necessarily wanting that to happen again, but as well, you got to think about how's this Pain going to match up first, because this is your third pick, and it's going to be your mid pick and your tempo setter. How's this Quap going to do later into the game? Like, when Quap gets a Midas, if she goes Midas, she'll be able to deal with one of the chance creeps. That's kind of nice. If she goes BKB, Disruptor will have to get Aghanim's before Disruptor is ever a threat, or she'll have to play around her BKB, right? Like, it's not necessarily that you pick a hero for a level 25 talent, but you have to have the late game in mind, unless you're just like dead set on winning within like 20-15 minutes, right?
You have to have a plan. I do. But yeah, for now, Team Spirit already feeling comfortable enough to pick up the Dragon Knight up against that. Fairly tanky, doesn't really... It can really shrug off that Shadow Poison Dagger or whatever the hell it's called on the Queen.
Shadow Strike.
Shadow Strike, yeah. I said Shadow Strike, I'm pretty sure. Not in this cast, but in some other cast, but hey.
Okay.
Also, I was wondering whether Gambit might even try to mix things up a little bit, but now with the Magnus on the field, it's unlikely, because Queen of Pain offlane is also something that we've seen, and especially in the SEA region, the roaming Quap possibility, not with the Wyvern and
Yeah, I think it's just like they're creating threat, because they get to last pick, and they're obviously going to go for a melee core unless they're going to like just want to switch things up. But I think that for Gambit here, it's a little bit of a deny pick as well, because you really don't want to fight into a Magnus Disruptor combo. Like, that can just be devastating in a team fight, and definitely just with how much team fight you already have with Earth Spirit, Wyvern, and Quap, there seems to be like this onus to over or outdo Team Spirit in terms of team fight. Team Spirit, in response, so instead of opting to try to outdo them in team fight, looks to have a little bit more pick-off lineup with this Nyx Assassin. And I like that direction of their draft.
5 seconds remaining.
6 coming through. Team Spirit still looking for a call of their own. You also mentioned the daily calls for Gambit esports, so okay. Just gonna take out the Monkey King from last game. Pair that, give that away as a pair up with Magnus. There's still other classics available. If you think about even the Troll Warlord, Juggernaut, Intimate even.
10 seconds
very popular
remaining.
in pubs these.
Radiant team pick.
But not actually, Team Spirit picked that themselves. Okay.
Denied.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's
Denied.
maybe not the best here to pick in Disruptor and Assassin. Easy to catch him out, but well, it's his brother instead, Terrorblade, coming up here as the power combo. help them to farm up and still do a ridiculous amount of damage. If you're in Metamorphosis form, you don't get the cleave, but at that point it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Can I tell you my little secret? Like my dirty confession?
Yeah.
In my turbo games, I play support terribly.
What?
And I rush Shadowblade Armlet Tegan and run around with 0 HP.
Oh no. Oh no, you're doing the meme builds. Oh
It's
no.
great. Level 1, you have so much armor. I just go PMS and Orb of Venom. Zone the offlane hero. Just ferry myself out, regen continuously.
How can you go PMS in turbo mode? It's
not PMS.
impossible.
I go Stout Shield and Orb of Venom.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Let's stay correct here in these.
Yeah. No, I hack into Valve's network.
Yeah.
Enable
PMS for just me.
Yeah.
I want that item back.
Yeah. Hey, and then while I'm at it, I'll pick Legion Commander and build an Iron Talon too.
Oh yeah, might as well.
All right. I would like to give a shout out to
Prepare for battle.
to all the players, Team Spirit holding up the proper in-game tags.
Yep.
Iceberg, Illidan, DK Phobos, even you, FNG, and I can't forget about you. Is it? I don't think it's Biver, right?
Biver, yeah.
Yeah. On the Chen. Thank you. I hope you don't die to the smoke because you make my life easier.
Well, on the other side, we have none of the proper names. I believe Gonna Win One Day is Dagsack. Happy New Year. I think it's Always Wanna Fly. But that's where it stops already. I have no idea. And again, oh, that sound actually misses. Iceberg gonna take a lot of damage here with Metamorphosis completed. Might actually still be the first blood. One more right click. It's not enough. And the sandbag on Shen. They're not even going to lose all that much time. Or region for that matter. So, on the flip side, the cooldown already being used for a Terrorblade. First minute might be a little bit easier for this offlane.
Yeah, I think there's an issue with Shen.
Gotta get out of there. Oh no. Well, way through the trees, the stun will connect, yeah. Fine, but I guess with the creeps only spawning at minute 1 anyway, so kind of nerve to some of these junglers, he at least still has time to go back to base and heal up if he wants to. For now, is oh, did he
sack the
what
to deny XP?
What? No one's ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota. Kind of crazy, to be quite honest with you. Since back the rage creep.
You know, I know I'm supposed to be like providing some detailed analysis, but this Biver guy, he's in some trouble.
Oh, he'll be absolutely fine. There's some crazy stuff already. You're talking about maybe something crazy, some pocket strats on their mind. Definitely gotta be part of it. This is a lane support Chen right now. Send back a range creep. It's caught up, so now there's 2 range creep pushing the lane a little bit. So I'm not sure how long that works out in the long run. In fact, he now makes his way into the jungle and does normal Chen things.
I think he's gonna farm this camp. I don't think he can go mid, but he may try for the off lane. Oh no, he takes the centaur. Yeah, he's going with the smoke now. He's 3 stuns. Do it, Jen. Do it. I believe.
Oh wait. If you get a new creep, it kills your mud golem. So you get with the shot golems on it. The hell. Not quite sure if it's still gonna be enough for the Queen of Pain. You need to find the proper stun lockdown. There's no Dragon Tail or anything for Iceberg to set things up. So very hard time of actually preventing the blink plays. Instead he's just trying to secure this bounty rune, but 2 supports running on him. Biver dropping lower and lower, and one more right click will do the trick here from Happy New Year. Draws the first blood.
Gambit getting the first blood. They may not be tagged up in game, but for people just tuning in, it is Gambit on the Radiant and the Dire, none other than Team Spirit, I believe.
I'll actually just take a Cortex thing. No.
Roll in mid, Iceberg. Sounds correct to keep it safe. I think he'll be fine with the 2 points in Dragon Blood.
Gambit.
My thrift rewarded.
Spirit.
I am ever so good.
Okay. Facing properly. There we go.
Production value. Production value.
Not what I would call it, but hey.
I get so confused. I'm just thankful that Team Spirit's got their tag up. I see DK Phobos on the next, I'm just like, oh, thank you. Bless your soul.
Well, by trying again, this time he has a troll creep. Also some skeletons to work with. 3 heroes around this bottom lane. They want to try and bring down a Nyx assassin, maybe. And Morpheus
I just want to let you know.
To slow him down. DK Phobos. It's a stun off. It will still fall. Okay. Top lane?
You know, poor guy.
What?
I would like to give him a shout out though. He is more CS than the mid quap right now. She may catch up with this creep. Oh nope, she's still behind.
The glimpse back and choke up top, Magnus. Out of mana, out of life points soon here. I'm not sure if they actually have enough damage with normal mana to burn, but they have another kinetic field. They're right clicking away. Illidan, the gold all normal right clicks. Now the skewer back on the tower actually. Have to blink himself out of there.
He didn't choke under pressure.
Nope.
Inappropriate name, clearly.
God damn it. Right. But hey, this middle lane's actually a bit of a disaster. I mean, is this what's expected of the Queen of Fame? Lose this hard to Dragon Knight? I don't think so.
If you go the double null build, she's got equal base damage, but you got to remember that the breathe fire is also going to reduce her damage by 25%.
You also have the travel time of your projectile to account for. Iceberg doesn't really have the same issue.
Yeah, he also has to walk up to the creep wave though.
Yeah, but he has Dragon's Blood, so it doesn't even really care.
No, he's healing through the 2-point Shadow Strike.
Alright. Couple creeps walking around. Stun is available now with a follow-up though. It's from Stupidity. Bringing enough chaos, but that still connects here. Extra nukes and right clicks will be enough to secure the kills. So Piper not initiating the fight, just leaving them to Iceberg and then ready for the interception as the blink came out. So well played on this front.
That was
get the kill and
that was really
working out well for Gambit so far.
AM's farming away, but I'm surprised to see that DK has more CS than than Illidan on this anti-mage here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
I spend a lot of time just chasing down Magnus' out of lane. Also one of these heroes that's been hurt quite a bit by lack of Iron Tongue. Still going through jungle trying to farm up, but not nearly as fast as it once was. Getting an eye on Catapult from Biber, so no extra money in that front. If the rotation forced out, he just gives more space to DK Phobos in the offlane.
These lanes are totally going Team Spirit's way. DK Phobos, almost level 6, compared to the Magnus, not even halfway to level 4. Illidan's farming fine. He's comparable to the Terrorblade, but it's mid lanes where that discrepancy is being created. DK is just destroying the squad.
Berg does have another Dragon Form available in 25 seconds, so the tower's already dead in fact, like with the pressure, a little bit extra from the Chen and the extra catapults and damage over time. It was denied, so they don't get the full money out of it, but the map control, losing it this early, quite significant.
And that just means that Iceberg is more free to push in this lane and go gank if he wants to. He can also just rotate maybe to the top lane, take the off lane tower.
Yep.
Might give a little bit of time to Quap to recover, but actually no, he's going to plan to come bottom. That's what Disruptor seems to be indicating right now, FNG.
I've already setting up a bit of a stun. He's throwing up the Rasmus on Terrorblade. He's level 6, but no ultimate just yet. Instead, the roll on Survivor though. He will fall first. His creeps not long for the world either. So everything that's going right for Team Spirit this gen, maybe not so much, but a glimpse back into stun. We have also the tornado still going from the creep in the sides. Do get killed on the Terrorblade. That does make it worth it. FNG though, dropping lower and lower kinetic field, but not preventing the right clicks from the Winter Wyvern. Plenty of range to work with, so 2-for-1 trade still. Getting that Terrorblade in. Fight's still not over yet. DK Phobos, he's committing for this. Has some Spike Carapace to work with, but being rolled down. Another Cold Embrace for the Winter Wyvern.
Mid lane, Quap might go down.
Well, indeed, Iceberg just putting her down. This is so weird to see. I mean, sure, Dragon Knight's not supposed to lose that lane super hard, really, because he's a Dragon Knight, but winning it in this fashion, solo killing a Quap, like, why? How?
Yep, it's not really. It's just one of those games. Sometimes you're not on your A game, and this game, Quap just needs to take a step back, breathe a little bit, do what she needs to do to get her head back in the game, and then just take it one step at a time. Get her boots. It's almost 9 minutes, and she doesn't have boots of speed, so little things at a time.
I'm also adding the score to the overlay now, so super value.
Unless we're wrong and hallucinated the past like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but you never know. Never know.
There we go. Professional overlays, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's your rounds of applause. Drag and drop. Only the drag and drop.
Why do you have to mock me like that? Come on.
I was applauding you. It was a gentleman's applause.
Of course. No one's gonna buy that. Even if you mean it like that, no one's gonna buy it. Anyway. 10 minutes in. DK, top of the net worth. Followed closely by the anti-mage, and it is another Blink Sun FNG. Glimpse available here, and this is the what we were talking about. The Blink is still available, and also the Cold Embrace from Winter Wyverns. It might not actually be enough to actually kill the Quaps. Instead, they use a secondary stun on the Wyvern, just punishing Happy New Year for his transgressions, helping out the Queen.
Fire is super effective versus ice.
Yep. Seems good.
Seems good indeed. Illidan just... Has anyone been to his lane for the past, like, 8 minutes? Like, Magnus started out here. This is the most uncontested anti-mage lane I've seen in a while.
Well, actually connects here to Bible, and Net does as well. Follow-up stun from Spike Carapace level 2. At this point, another Impale available in a couple of seconds. And stability should end up falling here if DK Phobos connects, and there it is. Holds on to it. Biver will trade his own life for it though, as Happy New Year comes in. Also, Queen of Pain, look for more trades, but they actually have nothing to cancel the TP, and DK Phobos realizing that. Scoots on out of there, but now, up top lane. Base creator, Terrorblade says, no, this bottom lane is too hard for me. Going somewhere else, and he's now taking over the top lane together with the Magnus. This is something that Illidan can't quite fight just yet, not without help. FNG though, he's smoked up. He's level 6 as well, they're waiting for some more support from Biver. Can pick up Satyr for some extra nukes, something on the way. But they're looking to fight this Terrorblade. He does have Stunner to work with right now, so you have to play around then. Shoka with the RP on 3 heroes. They're starting to right-click away at them. Disruptor dies first. No Static Storm, no nothing in this fight. Iceberg, no Dragon Form either. All you can offer really is his tankiness and Breathe Fire spam. So it's 4 full heroes here, and they're just running him down. He's being sent back though just in time. All the way back home. There it is. Winter Wyvern, the only one. Stun will actually miss from DK Phobos. Once again, out of mana means you don't actually do any extra damage from the anti-mage. Takes forever, but the mana void after that. That I hit. We want to finish it off, regardless.
Report no 3D, no scope, impale by the Nyx assassin. Do you remember watching that play on Reddit?
Oh,
I forget who did it. It was on Bulldog stream. Anyways.
Recently? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I think it was Ice. It's gotta be Ice, right?
It's kind of... Smoke up again here, they're looking for middle lane. Queen of Pain is starting to fall. FNG is still holding on to the Static Storm, and also preventing the Cold Embrace for a little bit here, and Justice comes out. The extra nuke from Iceberg. Well played indeed there from FNG, and one of his classic heroes. Meanwhile, Vibe up top gets rolled on again. He's the punching bag here for Team Spirit. I'll fall one more time with this commitment as creeps also. Long for the world, at least that Satyr also finds another grave. And Fiverr is not happy about the way his game is going, but at the very least the rest of his team's still doing well.
No, he's making space. He's very, very happy about making space for his team here. He's only 400 gold short of the Quap's net worth, so...
It speaks more to the way that Team Spirit have been able to shut her down. Partly in part due to Biva's efforts.
Yeah, he's been doing really well. His anticipation in the mid lane with that early gank with the Dark Troll Summoner to net up the Quap, really well done. Meanwhile, mid, DK Phobos scouting out Quap. May want to look for a higher priority kill though here.
Hard to say that, right? But kind of true.
Well, Quap's also a little bit tricky just with the blink out, so maybe you want to go for someone that's a little bit more like net worth and more reliable.
Terrorblade is a big one, right? Despite everything that's happening, Gambit is still keeping him way on top of the net worth chart here by about 600, 700 gold or so. Of course, the Empower also helping him out, so they can farm these jungle stacks more quickly. Is that gonna be an issue, or do they have enough tools to deal with him just with the static storm and whatnot?
The static storm I don't think will be enough. I think the acceleration of AM and DK may be a problem though, because usually with Terrorblade you need to build up a Manta and a BKB versus, but with AM's farm, it's got like, what was it, a 12-minute Battle Fury, and he's free to farm like the rest of the map because Quap won't ever get close to Orchid for like the next, I don't know, 10-12 minutes. She's going Midas right now, which I think is the right idea, but she's still super far behind as Illidan rotates over. They may get this kill actually. And avoid.
Well, there it is.
Pop goes the Quap.
Haha!
That wasn't actually intentional, but it kind of sounded nice. I'm going to use that more.
Pop goes the Quap. Goes into my book of things to say. For you laughs. They lose the tier 2 top, and again, this Terrorblade is getting bigger. But the anti-mage got like a 13-14 minute Battle Fury, and they're just now starting to accelerate.
And look where he's farming. He's farming like the deepest possible camp on the side of the Radiant.
Yep.
They've just swapped jungles, really. There's like, here, you can have our jungle, Terrorblade. Anti-mage is taking your jungle.
Keeping up pressure on the bottom lane of the zone. Meanwhile, DK Phobos leading a charge here. Initiate with a stun, follow is available from Iceberg. But nice little Winter's Curse here, intercepting some of the creeps too, and that follow-up stun from the center. It's not actually enough, so instead they'll have to punish the Winter Wyvern.
Avoids back up.
It's available in that. What? Illidan actually blinking the wrong way. Happy New Year. Still taking out the damage on time. Iceberg getting the last right click on him. Fortunately for them. Now, top lane couldn't really do too much damage to the tower, but this Magnus, out of mana actually, but it does have his blink dagger to work with right now, so as soon as he's fully healed up, Team Spirit have to start worrying about the blink up he plays.
Yeah, Illidan's got a DD, this is going to accelerate his farm. He may be waiting to give it to DK, but I think he's just going to grab it and farm away.
Yep.
And this will be Manta for him. Probably 18 minutes, which is really strong.
Yep.
You do not want, as a Quap, to not have a response to a Manta AM.
Yeah, it's like a bad time, and DK Phobos continuing to put on the pressure. I mean, everyone he finds isolated from the rest of his team. Fairly easy kill unless the Winter Wyvern is sitting right behind them.
It's also really nice when you have this strong of an offlane as Nyx, and you're able to get this early Midas, because then that frees you up to really apply pressure and just to look for these kills as they rotate into Roshan with the Terrorblade.
They realize this. I'm not sure they do actually.
And it out.
Yeah, they are thinking it. They are kind of converging in that location. The Centaur Conqueror to confirm that this is going on. Roshan down to half health. Need to do something more here. Across to the side, Iceberg gets a stun off, so just sacrificing himself to buy more time. Hero traded for the Aegis, but he actually gets slips back inside the pit now. Then Winter's Ghost just to keep the next assassin at bay for the time being. The Stag Storm trying to control the Terrorblade, but Biver still ends up falling to him. Like Guido Pain blinks in, does have the ultimate thrower as well, but there it is. AM with the Mana Void. They get rid of the first life, but there's the RP on the Iceberg. They bring down the big tanky dragon. Terrorblade on the hunt again. No metamorphosis as he respawns. Still enough pressure here to perhaps take this tier 1 tower. DK4 was kind of out of mana. But still scary enough that Gambit don't actually want to commit to it. So overall, successful defense to claim the Aegis immediately without them being able to even take an extra objective off of that.
Yeah, it helps get the Quap a little bit more, like a little bit more farm, and she wasn't there for the experience of Roche, but she gets the bonus gold. She has her Veil now, so she can just spam out waves, which is really nice for her. But Quap's got to be thinking about how she wants to itemize, because she goes for the Orchid. Her target's not anti-mage, because he's going to have his Manta up. So she's got to be looking for these Disruptor kills, or maybe even going on the Nyx Assassin or Chen early on in these fights. And usually when I go Veil, I like to pair it with going Maelstrom, because you're going to be giving yourself a lot of opportunity to farm a lot faster, and you're going to amp up that Chain Lightning damage.
Yeah. Interesting one, but yeah, for now. Need to be choice this game. Iceberg is actually smoked up, sitting in the creeper, waiting for somebody to show, and that someone is the Earthbird. Gets glimpsed back into a kinetic field, just throws down the stone on the Earthbird, and she gets a roll out of this one, so a bit of a miscommunication. Let's DK was cancel TP. Doesn't actually see it behind that tree. Super unfortunate turn of events here. Team Spirit missing out on that kill.
It's not the biggest deal. AM just keeps farming. This is kind of one of those games where you're like, oh, we missed a kill. AM, how many creeps did you hit? He's like, all of them.
Yeah. Alright, we're just gonna smoke up again. Create more space. By the way, what do you think about this Kaya on the next assassin?
We have a glimpse back.
Glimpse back, yeah, onto the Wyvern. Lot of stuns are there, no counterplay potential. Now they can connect it. Snagstorm actually catches the Earthbird, but kinetic field's not lasting long enough. There's a bit of a zoning ultimate here, but there it is. The RP actually catches Iceberg inside the area of effect. Side of reach for a Terrorblade, and if was should be fine. It does connect some, but it's already under tier 2. Tier 1 mid though will definitely fall with this kind of pressure.
As for the Kaya on the Nyx Assassin, it's really nice. It lowers your mana cost and your mana reduction, which means as Nyx, you're not super concerned about spamming your arcane boots, which means if you use Vendetta and you don't want to pop your arcane as they may look for the Terrorblade here, they don't have Disruptor ulti though.
Not have enough. Does some stick charges here if he wants to turn around for the stun FNG. Damage here, Mana Void. Not enough damage here. And okay, that's a stun on one of the illusions. So thankfully for Litten, they did not actually catch the right hero with either the Winter Scourge or the Sunder.
My thanks.
Yeah, I think Ilden made a little bit of a misplay. He blinks in there, and then he gets like maybe 2 more hits off. Like he blinks more aggressively on the Terrorblade, so Terrorblade has to run past him, and then his Mana Void actually kills the Terrorblade if he reduces his mana down a little bit more. Terrorblade doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, but those little things can add up as they kill the Quap in the top lane with that Disruptor ulti and the Dragon Tail.
That's what's gonna happen every single time here. If you get caught out like that. Just trying to farm up, trying to catch up. Well, you see a couple of heroes on bottom, maybe you expect, hey, that's probably the entire team, but at this point it really isn't. Seems good, they feel strong enough that they feel free to split up like that. 2 heroes there, 3 heroes down the other part of the map. Oh, stupidity, look at him. Might actually be caught out himself. DKFO was his invis, also has FNJ to help. And have a really easy time killing this Earthbird.
Well done. Yeah, and that's kind of the effect of the Kaya. Usually, as Nyx, you're a little bit concerned that your mana pool is not going to be able to sustain you even with the arcane boots, but with Voidstone, Kaya, he's more than okay. He can just go straight arcane as Fiverr dies to this T-Blade. Man, this Mask of Madness is so strong on Terrorblade.
No escaping the way too much damage output. I mean, with Metamorphosis right now and the items that he has, he's hitting for like what, 2, 3, 80, almost 400 damage a pop. Plus his illusion is also doing a decent chunk.
What's developing?
No fighting him right now. If I wasn't fight though, Happy New Year. You're dead. That's the worst toast that you can make, and this, if it's actually New Year, but Queen of Pain Swimming's well, throwing out some spells, so be careful not to be picked off himself. There is another Static Storm, but there's also a big old Terrorblade. Metamorphosis is about to time out though, but the IP still comes through. Extra couple of right clicks. They bring down a Dragon Knight once again, as well as G. Slowed down in the back. Opportunity to get that ultimate off, so... Hashtag space created, I guess. Illidan continues to farm, and kinda keeping up with the Terrorblade. Only 1,000 gold apart.
Yeah. What do you think about Illidan's choice to go what appears to be Perseverance next to Lincoln's? I believe.
Yeah, he has a complete Lincoln.
I think that he might as well just go Aghanims. Like, Lincoln's gives you better mana regen, but I think
You want
Eggs...
to block the Sunder, I think.
Yeah, but you reflect the Sunder back, so it actually, like, doesn't change a whole lot if you have Aghanims. Sometimes,
yeah.
right? But,
oh,
yeah,
no, you block the Sunder, but you cast it back on him, so it's like... It still switches the health pool once.
Yeah.
So
if your block is up.
Yeah. Well, it's no difference whether you have Ags or no Ags. Still gets HP swapped, and you don't want that.
Yeah. I'm just anticipating that maybe the Quap will be using her Orchid on him in the fights. But, yeah. So Perseverance is probably the better option. I was thinking BKB might also work, but... I trust Illidan. I'm just not sure about the Blink Uncontrollable Illusion skill. Like,
it's so good though. It's really good. You just leave illusions everywhere. Like when you push a tower, you can get like 2 extra illusions or something to help you take it. You can just grab the last bit of a creep wave with that and still get out. And the stronger you get, the harder it is for the other team to actually get rid of these illusions. You have to kind of fight through them.
very true. I'm just not a big fan of it. Like,
I know I am
300 cast range?
So. See, that is.
You're right about it.
Leave the illusion and about just leave it in the camp.
Yeah.
This improves the speed.
Again, there's probably a reason that Illidan's playing on a pro team and I'm not, though, right? Just saying.
I don't know what the talent choices general. Probably on Dota buff for like for pop games on Anti-Mage.
Yeah. I think it's more so that I'm just unfamiliar with it.
Turns up on Mixed Assassin, FNG comes in with Static Storm, and he's still being moved down. Still there. Alright, Anti-Mage. He's sitting at like 54% win rate still.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a strong hero this patch.
Alright, 77% Blink Uncontrollable Illusion. 23% picked against Blink cast range for purpose.
I think I have like, I think I have a moral obligation, like, not to pick Anti-Mage, just because I've sensed that he's like very strong or maybe broken. And it just seems like unjust to pick it. so I haven't experimented enough with this unblinking, uncontrollable illusion.
Well, I have less qualms about that. Played it a couple of times. A lot of fun.
Mm.
Doesn't really change the power spikes of the hero, really. It's just that extra element of pressure.
Yeah. Neither would 300 blink cast range, though, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to make the most significant difference. So why not at least have one more illusion?
Alright. Ages and Cheese this time around. Once again, a Gambit. They smoke into the pit, and this time it's not even Scouted out here. They are grouped up as if they want to smoke.
I wonder if Illidan knows that Quelling Blade no longer has a percent, like, increase on the damage you do. It's just a flat amount.
He knows.
Because like that was the efficiency of having an additional Quelling Blade. It was because you could just stack this percent gain increase.
Well, you still stack the flat amount though. Right?
Yeah, I guess you get an additional 60%.
Okay, that's not P. Cool Iceberg pops the BKB, still being nuked down and right-clicked away at him. All these terrible illusions to stun, keep them inside the static storm a little bit longer, but they actually get a kill until Illidan comes in. He gem on attack as well, is just trying to pick it up, and he finds it now, popping the TP into the backpack. But now silenced up the ultimate from the Winter Wyvern, actually buying him some more time, but out of mana to actually blink out. Illidan will fall, drop the gem again. There's been a little bit too much time here. With the big cores down, and Viper at the next on the list. He does have his whole creep army, and the Sentinel Storms coming through, and they will burst down Stupidity. But at what cost? Queen of Pain getting revenge for all the deaths that he's had. 4 heroes down. DK Phobos gets a blink out just in time. Howl of the Terrorblade just starting this fight with all the control that his team has, just playing so well off of each other. Now the pinging on top. This tower potentially in danger. Big old creep wave. Middle lane's also being pressured here. There have to be some buybacks coming out, surely. That's one onto FNG. No static storm to work with for another 18 seconds. No anti-mage for 40 seconds. Lost the tower, and Gambit say, alright, that's all we wanted.
Yeah, Terrorblade can just go and heal off some creeps, so this Morbid Mask can go right on back. Or even Wyvern. Wyvern heals them up. They look to take the game-ending fight.
Unless the Aegis. Do they still have the cheese? Not look like it. Must have used it in that fight.
I do not see the cheese on them.
Yeah, let's actually see him here. By cover stun offs. This static storm's just it's not enough here to prevent the damage from the Terrorblade, obviously. Just striking away, doesn't even care about them. Now Iceberg, it's on the list. Here pops Dragon Form, pops BKB. They just need to catch up, and he's dead again. Throws down a brief fire, but the send back will be the thing to keep him safe. But Viper himself, well, being gone on, but they're looking for juicy targets. Illidan has some illusions against him as well with the reflection around the Terrorblade. That's coming in. This could have been a good fight, but now the RP here onto Illidan. A couple more right clicks will finish him off, and the send back again, preventing him from dying and forced to buy back. Iceberg, though, is a bit of a different story. Cannot stand on the front lines where this Metamorphosis is going.
Metamorphosis is over now, though.
Damn it. Will they take it slow, or will they fake back here? Wouldn't put it past them at this point.
They're in a really strong point. Like, Quap used to be so far behind. Now she's equal net worth to the DK. She's got what she needs to come back in this game. She has a Lincoln's, she has Veil, the Orchid. She's free. Like, she's a threat now to the enemy supports. Good luck to gank her though here. She'll play safe. She's smart, I hope. Maybe. I'm saying maybe about me having biases towards her living.
Oh, that's the Iceberg now. Oh, actually, they saw him. You cross though. Iceberg does have a blink of zone, but on cooldown. Be fine.
Like, where are you going?
Find a safe space to TP out from, I guess.
Space created.
Team Spirit, they're
yeah.
They're in a bit of trouble here, aren't they? Even though they haven't lost the racks, like, what's the way back into this game? Still has to be Anti-Mage, right?
Yeah, Anti-Mage has to like find a DD top, like, or a DD or something, and Their team has to take a fight in such a way that Anti-Mage is able to either get a pick-off and apply pressure in an additional part of the map and maybe like Trader Racks, because fighting this Terrorblade is not going to work. Even with this Aegis gone, Terrorblade has DD metaphor. If they don't fight right now, their racks are dead, but their lanes aren't pushed, so they have to fight.
DD and Pow, he's sitting for 600 already with a Metamorphosis that's like 800 or some shit. Look at these barracks melt.
What barracks is? Oh, they were able to purge it at least with the Yules on Nyx,
Yeah.
but...
Dire's middle barracks is fallen.
But it's still an unreal amount of damage that they cannot really deal with at this point. Looks back into the kinetic field.
Dire's top tower
Doesn't have the Aegis to work with anymore. She's dropping quite low, but oh, the RP though! Onto the Anti-Mage. Gets sent back, but he cannot contribute in this fight. Iceberg now being slowed down. If he goes down, it's such a big loss, and he will fall indeed. He does have a buyback, but oh, Disruptor. Well, you'll use the stack some anyway. Not the biggest of losses here, but it does give them some more time to also continue hitting these next set of racks. You were actually very short here. Ivor still alive. Anti-Mage with fine angle in here. No more Mana Void though. The bash, the stun. Need detection from Magnezone. They don't have it. The Glimmer Cape keeping him safe. Possibly hard right now.
I saw Terrorblade use the flutter, and he was just like out. He's like, leave them, leave them. Magnus gets caught, and they like turn around just like back him up just enough, and he's like, no, everyone out, everyone out. They have the game in their hands. They play it safe. They don't throw. They're good to go. They wait next Metamorph. There's nothing Dire can do at this point. They really need to have some type of miracle pick-off where they either kill Terrorblade right at the start or get a quap pick like this one.
It's the stun though. DK4 was get it off in time. The mana burn was not enough to prevent the blink.
He needed better bash procs too.
Got the one, it was the Abyssal proc.
Yeah, I think that was used on the Lincolns. The Lincolns blocked the Abyssal or the mana.
I think it was Yules or something else. He did get the Abyssal off, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know actually. Because it was a Yules setup.
Yeah.
So mana burn on Lincolns, I guess.
Yeah.
Yules and then into the failed stun. That stun connects and it's a dead quap, but doesn't chance. Lives to fight another day.
But yeah, Iceberg definitely needs to like think about how he's itemizing in a past patch way. Because if you think about like what he can do in these fights, he's meant to be tanky, but being tanky versus a Terrorblade, it's kind of an unrealistic expectation since they get an RP.
Oh, there it is again. The Anti-Mage in a bit of trouble. Illidan does get the blink out. But can he actually escape? As Lincoln's popped. Winter's Curse keeping him in. Does get another blink. The extra heals, but it's still being slowed down. So much for this reflection. Another silence and another death. He does have buyback. Even with that, I fail to see how they can actually take a fight here.
If only he could blink a little bit further each time.
No, it wouldn't have made a difference. Come on, dude. Don't try to sell that.
Yeah. Without AM, they really can't fight. Iceberg's just... He's got a really defensive build here. He's got BKB. Blink is nice for the mobility, but it doesn't really offer a whole lot in terms of damage. But like Shadowblade wouldn't have been an option for him really with Nyx in the field, because then they're like have 2 invis, which is not ideal. But
we'll try again to summon your spirit, much easier kill to get. So we should end up falling. Quap coming in from the side. They have lockdown for him, no, but the stacks down there towards the Wyvern. Yeah, this can turn into something. Iceberg with a BKB, looking for the follow-up stun and gets it before the Cold Embrace comes out, but there's also Terrorblade in this area here. The Sonic Wave from the side will help burst Iceberg down. Buyback coming through now from Illidan. Need to try and take this fight now with that being used, but it's already over. Illidan cannot find a way in here. Man.
Halfway through
the tower. They will be able to just barrel down high ground here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, that's the... That is interesting how that worked out with the man's style, but... Another buyback, the BKB at the very least used. Queen of Pain. They do have another RP to work with. Metamorphosis is that about to time out. They do not commit for the high ground. But they could easily just make a beeline towards an Oshbed right now.
Yeah, they got 2 buybacks, right? AM and the DK. So if they take Roshan, they're fighting with an additional, essentially, 2 more lives versus a team with no buybacks.
They also have potential double RP, or what you can also do is give the Aegis to a Terrorblade and the Refresher Shot. So once he comes back from the Aegis, he can refresh to have another Metamorphosis.
Yeah, or they could give everything to Winter Wyvern and still walk bottom and probably win the game.
Oh man. It'd be funny if it weren't so sad for Team Spirit. Yeah, they seem to drop Refresher Shot. Gonna take a choker. It makes a lot of sense. Double RP is just a more straightforward way to just end this game.
Yeah, he may just hold on for the Terrorblade too.
Yep.
Who has got no boots, but he probably doesn't need any.
He's an agility hero. Get movement speed from agility now, so yeah.
400 movement speed without flutter, and then with flutter he gets an additional... 5%. He goes up to 514. Wow. Yeah, he does not need boots.
Seems good.
Seems good. Seems very good.
These DK phobos, he does have the axe to work with. So does the Chen, but Piper... Comes down to this Chen first pick, doesn't it? Because apart from this one play on the co-op, I haven't really felt his impact at all this game.
Yeah. It's definitely like a game tempo setter, and they set the tempo early, but their mid game was just too weak. AM wanted to farm. DK's not really a high damage hero. Sure, they got a few pickoffs on the co-op, but Terrorblade just farm and they couldn't contest it as he walks to this high ground. And something's got to be done here. They want to stop Megas.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Rain tracked up top. 200 health points. Trying to lay this as much as they can. That is Terrorblade out of mana. He's being healed up still as the Aegis. Meanwhile, Iceberg going into the back. This is the way that you have to go. There's the first RP. Pressure shot still being held on to. After the Terrorblade, but they will end up focusing on Iceberg first. Second RP available now. Oh, maybe not. Steady Storm actually cancels it just in time. So Iceberg, Illidan actually will fight or live to fight another day. That's the way to say it. Bit of lag just at the end of this game, so it's a bit annoying.
Unfortunate.
But you cannot stop this. You have already lost the melee racks. Like, Terrorblade, just right click the range racks and be done for it. Top lane is still standing, but not for too long, as mentioned. And thunders up Biver. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's dead too. F and G also falls. Illidan can't even come back to the back because of the Winter Wyvern. That Cold Embrace thing so much, you can choke her alive. No, it's not really necessary. You've already... Actually, no, he's still holding on to the second RP. Also eats the cheese, I believe, so he has that available now. All they need to do is find the real anti-mage. And
not taking the RP.
Happen.
Oh, there's a rain track talk? I didn't even notice that.
I said it like 2 times. Come on, man. It looks like Gambit is gonna take it, yeah.
I heard you say it, I'm just like, that makes sense because they haven't got Megas yet. What a surprise. But yeah.
That is RP on the anti-mage. You should be able to get the blink out, but Illidan. Strong set hero is, I don't think he can 1v5, and this is what it comes down to at this point. He's trying. Certainly trying. There's the Winter's Curse. As the Ancient falls. GG, well played, has to be called eventually, and there it is. Team Spirit dropped 2-1 to Gambit Esports, and in this qualifier that means they are out of the tournament.
Wow, what a terrible aid. Like, team is on his back, and then he like also had them like eating food on his back and getting like heavier for him, and he still carried them on. Like, really well played from that Terrorblade. I'm a little bit sad, primarily because they don't use their actual names in game. That Gambit moves forward, but apart from that, I think they totally deserve this win.
Oh yeah,
just really well played by them, and really quite a comeback, and like determination to lose game 1 but win game 2. And they were really up against the ropes in that game, but they held the high ground with their sniper. And then coming back this game, had a hard lane in the co-op, but they pulled it together, came through as a team by them.
So that means that our next game and last game for today will be Gambit Esports versus Team Empire. That should be a good one as well. Let's get that set up as soon as possible. In the meantime, well, follow us on Twitter if you like, @DragonDota and @MrVDota. But for now, also enjoy some extra music.